welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. A big welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here and for your support of me and each other in the comment section. And a big congratulations to this month's winner of the free reading. If you have left me a comment below, be sure to check your notifications. So that I can contact you if you're chosen the winner, because I have had a bit of difficulty having my winners reach back out to me. So be sure to drop your comment, hit your notification bell for your chance to win a free video reading with me. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, please drop your comment below, subscribe to the channel because I would love to read for you. I do pick a card readings on this channel. So if you're into tarot, into spirituality, please grab yourself some snacks and a cup of tea and we'll have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather here together. So today's pick a card topic, we're going to look at their first impression of you versus now. So this can be anybody on your mind. It doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic connection. What were their first impressions of you when they first met you, when they first came into contact with you, versus how are they feeling about you right this moment? We do have 3 piles for you to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the malachite and the Can You Hear Me card. Pile number 2 with the blue aragonite and the No Rain Today card. And pile number 3 with the red carnelian palm, and we have My Dear Friend. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting from Spirit, and my timestamps are below. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today's topic is all about their first impressions of you versus how they're currently feeling and view you now. So pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the green malachite. Put that over here. Or perhaps to the Can You Hear Me card, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, what was their first impression of you versus now? You may be in no contact with this person at this point, potentially with this card, if this was your choice, because you can see it's like somebody impatiently waiting for someone to contact them. They have secrets that they want to tell, that they're submerging in the water. She's holding on to this shell, which indicates that she could reach out as well if she chose to, but she's like choosing to wait for someone to reach out to her. So there may be no contact at this time. So you may be curious about how they're currently viewing you versus how they previously viewed you. So we're going to do a comparison spread here. We're going to start with how their first impression of you. We already have the Nine of Swords jumping out, so we're going to keep that card. What was their first impression of pile 1, please? And we'll compare it to their current views, current feelings towards you. So what was their first impression? It's like you instantly made them nervous. You instantly gave them it's like they overthink anyway. They could be an overthinker. But you definitely made them nervous to sort of make their truth known. Yeah, we have the Justice with the Page of Pentacles reversed. So you gave them a lot of sort of anxiety or stress concerning how you would, what you would think of them. You could have met this person at work or in school potentially as well. It's like when you were young. It's like when I was young and innocent. It's like when we met this person. We have the 7 of Wands. And you instantly fueled them with it's like they were instantly attracted to you, and it's almost like there was a competition sort of feeling that they felt. But there was a determination too, because the attraction was so strong. You fueled up their ego in the best and worst possible ways, I feel. Here's 6 of Cups reversed with the 9 of Wands reversed. You know, you threw them for a loop. I feel like you made them exceptionally nervous. And I think that you may have started almost, maybe not completely friends, but acquaintances, or it's like sort of not best friends necessarily, but it's like they really wanted to be more than just friends if you were friends with them. But they were so worried about how they would be received. They were so worried about that, because they're like, it's totally they're out of my league. It's like you were out of their league, and they're like, it's so naive of me to even assume that this person would want to be with me or in a relationship with me or friends with me. This person could have suffered from like poor self-esteem or anxiety at that time too. The 6 of Pentacles. They were not very confident that you felt the same way about them as well. So they felt that the connection between the two of you was really unbalanced. It's like it's really one-sided. And it's almost, again, it feels like somebody superior, in their opinion, someone who's superior of us, just kind of giving us scraps a little bit. It's like, I feel like I only get your scraps. I almost feel like they kind of stood by too and watched you in some type of dynamic with other people, because there's jealousy here, and there's a sense of them saying, you know, that I watched you in karmic situations and I held my tongue, I bit my tongue. Yeah, I just saw the Three of Wands reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, and a King of Swords. They were too intimidated to say anything to you, I feel, or to express themselves to you in a really valuable way that could have created change here. And there's delays, frustrating delays that they experienced in the past because they couldn't get a handle on how they thought you felt. And they definitely didn't think the two of you were in the same boat emotionally. We have the Queen of Wands. You could have been a fire sign. You could be a fire sign, Leo, or a Sagittarius. It's more about how they view you, though, the attraction that they feel and the influence that you have on people around you. Because I just saw Marilyn Monroe in my mind. It's like Marilyn Monroe could kind of turn herself into Marilyn whenever she felt like it. She was just literally a gaze she had to put on across her. And it's like that's the impression you leave on people, whether you realize it or not. Four of Cups, though, and Ace of Wands. They felt, and the term I just heard in my mind is kind of a coarse term, but they felt blocked. Essentially, they felt blocked. It's like they had no place to go. They couldn't bring their information or their feelings forward because they felt helpless. They're like, it's hopeless. I'm ignored. They felt a little overlooked by you in the past. And there's that Ace of Wands. It didn't matter because the spark was still flying. The spark was still going very, very strong. So let's see what this person thought about you or currently thinks about you comparatively. Actually, you know what? Let's pull a couple message cards for their first impression, and then we'll move into today. What was their first impression, please, of pile 1? You make me want to do bad things. Obsessive energy. Insecure energy, too. For someone watching, they may have been in a karmic relationship when they first met you as well. I want a fresh start with you. They did not want to be in the friend zone with you if this was a friendship. And they would have sacrificed that friendship for that. Because sometimes the Six of Cups, it provides a little bit of a hesitation to even change the dynamics because there's a fear of losing the connection altogether. But they're like, I would have sacrificed our friendship. It'd be fine. I would have done that. This taught me what pain really is. The delays, the frustrating delays, the inability to express myself. It's like now there's like I'm impatiently, more so, waiting for news or waiting for a shift in the connection. I listened to every word you said, hung on your every word, because it's like you were the focus. It's like a huge crush situation is what it feels like. It feels like they were really crushing hard on you. It says, I'm sitting here adamantly waiting. Sitting in here adamantly waiting. You may be feeling that way too. It's like, well, I was sitting there adamantly waiting as well. It's like both of you in the same boat, but not realizing it. Because there's frustration. I couldn't catch you because I fell too. And I even sometimes wonder if you even care about me at all. Queen of Wands, back of deck. I wish I believed in me like you did. So let's take a look at present energy. So how are they currently feeling? What is their impression of you now? What are their current feelings? It does feel like it could be in separation. So let's see what Spirit has to say. I'm just going to move this over here if I can. Their current feelings, please, for pile number 1. Devil. If we have the 15, the Devil over here. Here is the Devil again. Queen of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the World. Unfinished business here with this connection. And I do feel like if it is in separation, it may have been in separation for a while because I feel like they've only had time to grow their feelings. Queen of Swords. You could be an air sign. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Seven of Cups. And I do feel like they are still adamantly waiting for news, or adamantly waiting for clarity, or adamantly waiting for some type of sign from you that it was mutual, because they're still heavily confused. And I feel like, honestly, I don't think a lot has changed emotionally for them. It's like you're this fantasy still, and you seem really far away. So there may be physical distance here too. Five of Wands along with the Nine of Cups. Yeah, you're still the dream. Back of the deck is the Hanged Man. And they're really saying, you know, nothing has really changed for me yet. Nothing's changed for me. And it's sadness too. Even the horse in this case is made of leaves, indicating that change is really necessary perhaps, but it's taking too long to kind of be accomplished, because this Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. So slow that this horse has become the ground that he sort of treads upon, and it's because they're stuck in this sadness. Now there may be actual practical things in place now that do impede the ability to create change, which may not have been in place back then, which is fine. And always remember that I'm dealing with collective energy, so lots of energies are floating in and out. So if it doesn't resonate with you, you can try a different pile. But the Hanged Man is talking about the stagnation, how nothing has really changed for them. And so how they've sort of surrendered to some of their pain too. It's like it just is what it is. It's like I'm still in love, and that's all that there is to it. It's like they really feel like they have fallen for you, but they're not convinced that you feel the same way. But I do feel like you feel the same way. I feel like you feel the same way if you're the Divine Feminine watching this. There's an acknowledgement here too, that they still feel repressed from being able to execute change. But that they may, again, you can see she's standing behind this lock, but all of the locks here, she holds the key to all of them. She's the one that built this fence, so she holds the key to all of that, to all of the escape routes in that card. It's like I put myself in this boat and now I don't know how to steer the boat. That's what it feels like. And this beautiful Queen of Cups, she's holding on to that seahorse as well, which is a symbol of release and surrender and not getting hung up on things, but they're still hung up on you emotionally. To the point where it almost feels like a codependency now too with this Devil. And they're really kicking themselves in the present moment. Really kicking themselves and really hoping. Honestly, it feels so sad because they're really hoping beyond hope that you'll be able to provide them clarity. That's kind of what they're banking on. That's what they're kind of trying to focus upon, so that this pain doesn't completely destroy them. What are their current thoughts for pile 2, please? I replay our conversations over and over and over, and the Devil is an obsessive energy. Nothing has really changed for this person. Even if there's disconnect, nothing has really changed for them. They do feel you leaving them behind. And the Divine Feminine here could have a family, so take that as it resonates, because she is, the Queen of Cups here is oftentimes very busy with doling out love everywhere. So there could be even children, so take that as it resonates. It's time for me to heal now. And I'm afraid, I'm so afraid to contact you. And that's why they have I think they have the power to contact you. You can see she's holding on to that shell. She could sound out an alarm, but it's like they're waiting. Because as much as they avoided confrontation or avoided their feelings here, they haven't exactly prepared themselves to wield the truth out. I hid behind material things. And I want to be more than friends. And that's still their primary feeling. If they wanted to be more than friends in the past, they want to be more than friends now. So many things remind me of you is on the back of that deck. current feelings. Their current feelings and impressions now. Trying to make healthier choices for themselves, self-care, being happier. They are acknowledging that this is painful. And it's a chronic pain too, and that they've been stuck in for it feels like a long time. And that doesn't serve anyone and any type of purpose. We also have here, not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, avoiding a call, boundaries, still upset. And even here, it's like, it's like, can you hear me? It's like they're not even sounding the alarm. So of course you can't hear them because they're hesitating, because they're not dealing with it today. It's like they're trying to avoid it. But that's the avoidance that caused the whole situation in the first place. It was avoidance. And when we put things off, when we procrastinate our truth, that truth is still sitting there waiting for us. Back of the deck says Phoenix, though. They want to rekindle, but they are trying to move into a new phase, renew, transformation, growth, and a changed mindset. But I do feel like ultimately this person would love to rise this connection out of the ashes with you, pile one. Let's get a charm bowl for you. Charm bowl, please, for pile number one. How does pile number one, what would they say if they could say one thing to pile one? The Tower, they don't want to cause chaos in their life, but they definitely have something profound to get off of their chest. They also want to sort of establish that they didn't realize what they had lost until it felt like it was too late, and they pretended a lot with you. And they wish that they could go back home to the past, and they're calling it home, and you belong there. That's what it feels. It almost feels sad. It's like, I wish I fully learned from my mistakes, and I wish I could go back and fix them now. And the Tower could even represent even physical situations that they are hesitant to create havoc within as well. We have here the button, mending things and believe in love. They don't want to believe, like, I feel part of them doesn't want to believe it's one-sided, but their ego keeps fueling that scenario. They're pessimistic here with the half cup, the measuring cup. We have the butterfly in the bowl too, which is a symbol of transformation and inner healing, reflection. We have the moon, the constant reflection that leads to you. We also have the honey cells that are filled up here. And I think of the Six of Pentacles and somebody who's putting in a lot of effort into their environment. So you or this person could be sort of plugging away at responsibilities and really taking them seriously as well in life at this time. And we have a commandment from the Bible that says, thou shalt, hold on, I've got to get it really close to my face because I'm blind. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. So somebody who maybe curses a lot or cries out to God because of this connection. All right, pile one, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. And if it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comments section. And I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell and your like button. It really does help me to bring you guys more content. If you are not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe and drop your comments so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check me out on Instagram. My link is below. And you can check me out for a personal reading on Etsy, and that link is below as well. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile two. You were drawn to the blue aragonite, which is beautiful. It almost looks like a sandy beach, which could be indicative of perhaps where you live, or you were drawn to the No Rain Today card, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, what was their first impression of you versus their feelings for you right this moment. So the no rain for you today really talks about sunshine, like literal sunshine. So you brighten people's day. This person thought that you brightened their day. If they were having a rough time, you are someone who just raises people's spirits. You may have a really great sense of humor, or you just have a natural ability to diffuse people's bad moods. It's just that you have an influence on people with your energy because it's so upbeat. So you may have a lot of energy as well. So when they first met you, when they first had their first impression, it was exceptionally positive. Exceptionally positive. So let's take a look at how they were feeling. What was their first impression of you when they first met you? What were they currently thinking when they first met you? Their very first impression. And then we're going to do a comparison to their current feelings for you now. So let's see, what were they thinking when they first met? The moon. So we have the moon here, and we have no rain today. So I feel like they may have been in a bit of a funk or something that day. It's like they may have been The first time that they met you, you made a lasting impression because I think that they were going through something in that moment. We have here the Three of Wands. And they just really saw you as somebody exceptionally optimistic. It's like if these two wolves are both looking up at this sun-moon combo, one of them is looking at the sun and one of them is looking at the moon, and you were always the one who was looking on the positive side of things. And that definitely struck a chord with them because I almost feel like they're the opposite of you. It's like the two of you complement each other because you're different. Or in their perspective, you felt different. We have the Devil. We have I just saw the Five of Pentacles as well. What's their first impression? They were immediately attracted to you too. Immediately attracted to you. But I do think it was a mutual attraction. Again, it almost feels like opposites attract in this case. Felt like an immediate attraction, a physical attraction. Yeah, it's like you're a literal dream come true. And this person had this opinion, like, if I could have this person, I would be like the king of the world. I'd be the smuggest person alive if I could just have. It's almost like they seen you as a bit of a trophy. Not that you, obviously that minimizes your value, and that's not what they were trying to do. But just in a physical sense, they thought that you were exceptionally attractive, and you're like, you stop traffic for them. Queen of Cups. You were some type, oh my goodness, they're really double downing on the all the compliments. It's almost as if it almost is presenting as like love at first sight for them. And I don't know that I've ever said that on my channel. I just feel like it was almost love at first sight. Because it's like they've seen you, it's like full spectrum. It's like this temptation. There's something alluring about you. They couldn't take their eyes off of you for some reason. There's something about your hair that they were really, really struck by. They couldn't take their eyes off of you. And it's like they were seeing for the very first time. It's like the shades of gray had been lifted and it's like they saw you. And what I'm just seeing in my mind, I don't know if you've ever seen, you probably haven't, but I saw this interview with Jason Momoa and it's so off topic. I know I take divergence, but I'm seeing in my mind this interview with Jason Momoa when he was talking about his wife, Lisa Monet, and he saw her on The Cosby Show well before he ever met her. He was just a child, actually, when he saw her on The Cosby Show, and he said to God, that's the one I want. And that's what I just heard. It's like they instantly saw you and instantly drawn to you. And it almost feels like a spiritual attachment. It's like it presented as physical, but it went beyond that. It was deeper in that moment. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, they could see forever in that moment. It almost makes me want to get a little teary-eyed. They could see forever in that moment. They were like, this is someone, when they first met you, they're like, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. This is the person that I want. This is I want them to be the, and I'm going to say mother of my children for ease of execution because the Empress is representing the divine feminine here. It has nothing to do with gender, but it's like they could envision having a family with you. They allowed their fantasy to go all the way. And it's all really emotionally, like it started with the sexual realm and the physical realm, but it's like there was some sort of internal reaction to this person. Here's the Hanged Man and there's the Page of Wands, but they didn't act on it. They didn't act on it because it's almost like they felt there was a certain amount of destiny here, and it almost feels like they thought that they had more time to explore it, and they didn't have as much time as they thought to explore it. They didn't. And that hesitation, I feel like maybe has hurt them a little bit in this situation now, has hurt them potentially with what they feel like is possible moving forward. Let's get some message cards to see where their mind was at. Their first impression, please, of pile 2. What were they thinking on their first impression of pile number 2? It says, I miss being intimate with you. I don't necessarily feel like they got a chance to be intimate with you at the very first impression, but I feel like there was an internal recognition, and I feel like they wanted to be, because immediately immediately when they saw you. Insecurity, desire for more physically. I have an offer for you. It almost feels like they want it. It's like this would be the type of person that would like propose on the first date or something. It's like they would offer you forever in that moment. I know that we're being spiritually guided, but they put a little bit too much faith in that ideology. They put a little bit too much, and not necessarily faith, because faith is a wonderful thing, but what they didn't understand about the dynamics of manifestation and about, you know, about destiny is that we are the authors of it, that we create it through our thoughts, feelings, and intentions and our physical actions. So their dependence on the universe, quote unquote, to create the way, they missed the mark because they were the way. Don't think because we don't talk I don't want to, because I do. And they definitely hesitated to execute change at the beginning of your connection or when they had their first impression of you. It's like they may have given you the impression that they weren't interested even. They may have sort of suppressed that. I've thought about you spending time with my family and I. You know, it's like they really let themselves fall into this beautiful narrative in their mind. I have a lot of gratitude for you. And back of the deck says, I'm always reminded of you. Still, I feel like they're always reminded. And here, I have a lot of gratitude for you. It's like with this no rain today, the sun energy, it's like gratitude, joy, abundance, enlightenment. It's like they saw it in that moment. And you really, honestly, you knocked them off their feet in that moment. But let's shift gears here a little bit and let's take a look at their current impression of you. So what are they currently feeling? What are their current thoughts and feelings about you and this connection? What are their current thoughts and feelings versus the first impression? King of Wands. So if we started at the Page of Wands, there's been evolution. So there's time has gone on, and it's grown in intensity. This fire, this flame, time has only made the flame grow higher for this person. They could be a fire sign potentially here. They don't have to be, but their focus on you is very acute. We have the Chariot. What is their current feelings versus their first impression? Two of Wands. It almost feels though that they've evolved into perhaps a different dynamic that now requires them to make decisions and choices. They still know how they feel. Emotionally, I feel like it's only grown. It's only expanded. Their feelings for you. The Queen of Wands, the Six of Swords, they still have the impression that this is sort of a divine counterpart, a divine partnership here. And there's still, honestly, it still almost feels like they're relying on time or on the universe to create some sort of way magically so that they don't have to. There is hesitation for them to execute change. It's like they do lack a little bit of confidence or strength, because it's like they're still letting the opportunity grow a little bit of mold or grow a little bit of, you can see it looks like it's covered in moss, and that little, what is it called, I can't remember the name of that, grasshopper, is not jumping away, even though the opportunity was there. Knight of Pentacles, Six of Cups. So you may be in a bit of a separation, even if it's an emotional separation from this person at this time. And I do feel like they have certain responsibilities on their shoulders now that perhaps prohibit them from being able to execute change. Some of these responsibilities might be on your shoulders, or it could be a mutual experience for two of you. You may both be in different connections now or have different responsibilities, because they're still sort of hesitant, waiting for that reunion. They're still holding space for you. They're still holding, they have a lot of responsibilities. They're really busy. It's not like this monopolizes all of their time or energy, but they're still holding space here because they still know how they feel. But there's still confusion about how you feel. They're not 100% confident in how you feel, so they would love to have clarity come in. They would love to have some closure to the situation, but the problem is, Spirit says that closure wouldn't exist here. It's that if you stepped forward and said, hey, yeah, it was mutual, all of a sudden, all of these people who are struggling, who are down in the front of this boat with swords in their back, they would rise from the dead, and there would be this upheaval, which would create change and chaos, which may be welcomed for either of you, may be very welcomed. But they're still watching you, and they're trying to almost make the best of the situation now. Whoops. What are their current thoughts and feelings, their current impressions of pile 2, please? It's like they still hope for that opportunity down the road, though. They haven't given up on that idea. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think that they will, because this 6 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, it's like, I think that we're destined to come back together. It's like they can feel the energy. I'm still trying to make sense of everything. I still don't have all the answers about how you feel. They're somewhere stuck between the past and the future right now. They're in this weird state of limbo in their own experience, in their own feelings. Because I also don't feel like they're, like I don't feel that they're dissatisfied in their current environment. They're just something special about you, make you jealous. So their position might make you jealous, and your position might also make them jealous as well, because they're still a jealous creature over you. I wish I believed in me like you do. Queen of Wands. You could be a fire sign. Leo energy. I want to give you just as much as you give me. It's like they want balance of the energy. They want to know that they are, that their feelings are matched by you. And it could also indicate here too that there are karmic relationships in place at this point as well. I can't feel your love anymore. You feel very far away, whether it be physically or emotionally, or perhaps a combination. You feel very far away. And it's a profound loss, because that Queen of Cups has a beautiful heart. We have here, let's just do it. The Fool reversed, though, and back of the deck says, I am tired of this. I'm tired of holding back. I don't know what to do to execute change, but I am tired of holding back. And, you know, they don't know what to do, because the Fool is reversed, which is kind of, for me, an equivalent to the 4 of Cups, which is an apathy, which is not feeling prepared, or not seeing solutions at this time when it comes to their feelings, when it comes to what they feel like is capable within the 2 of you. But the flame, it's like they're so stuck in remembrance of you, stuck in that past, remembrance, resurfacing of past emotions and feelings, and flame tree, the desire to start something new with you. And that's exactly where they're sitting right this moment. We have Ganesha, clearing away obstacles, protection, and guidance, and they are protecting this connection. I don't think that they're going to ever release it. Even Ganesha here, beautiful Ganesha, shaped like a elephant. It's endurance, it's stamina, it's leadership. But it's almost like they're leading it to you. It's like I don't think they're going to pursue necessarily, because they wouldn't want to wreak havoc in your situation. But it's like they would love to have clarity coming in from the Divine Feminine. Let's get a charm bowl for you. Oops. Pile number 2. A charm bowl, please. This person could say anything right this moment to pile 2. What would they say in the bowl? The Lovers. I'm so attracted to you, and I was weak. Oh, the 2 of Cups. And because of my weakness, we have sacrificed what could have been here. Now, the 2 of Cups is reversed here too, so this person may be indicating that they are in a relationship that pursuing your relationship would create havoc within that relationship. They're also saying that they really made poor choices because of their fears as well, and that they instantly recognized the connection. They instantly recognized it was like a beacon of light on a dark, stormy day or something. They instantly recognized the connection, but their ego, their fear, was their worst enemy. We have the cassette, outdated thinking and remembering things over and over in their mind. We have the anchor, stuck in the past, with the sword of truth here. And it's a little stubby sword, because it's like it happened in the past, and now the truth is just kind of grating on us. This person feels like they lost like a part of themselves. So if they've likened you to their soulmate, they think that the two of you are like one being that has been separated. But these starfish reminds us that we are all on our own individual journeys and we can heal from any perceived loss. Even if it feels like it's a part of ourselves, it takes a long, slow process sometimes, but it is possible. This fairy in the bowl makes me think about something that is beyond the realm of reason sometimes, or beyond our reach, or something that doesn't exist. So this person fears that the connection doesn't exist. It's all in their head sometimes, but they also feel like you're beyond their grasp. It's like you hold a very special place in the heart chakra, and the heart chakra has been blocked. And we have the leaf of change, but it has a bite out of it, because change is possible and change is desired, but we have to be really focused and motivated to take the necessary acts or steps. All right, my dears, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comments section, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell if you do, and drop me that comment so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. Congratulations to this month's winner. And you can also check me out on Instagram. My link is below. And if you're interested in a personal reading, if you feel called to, the link for Etsy is below as well. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, everybody. In pile number 3, you were drawn to the red carnelian palm. Or perhaps to the My Dear Friend card, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, what was their first impression of you versus their feelings and impressions of you now? The My Dear Friend card talks about the beginnings of friendship and how you may have grown with each other, as you may have gone to school with each other. There's just been longevity here. There's many layers perhaps to your relationship, but the very first impression they had was that, you know, the two of you could support one another and be and you can see how she's like literally riding on him, and he's supporting her with all of this experience. So there's a real sense of camaraderie between the two of you when you were first introduced or you first met. So it may have beginnings in friendship, which is why you were drawn to that pile. But let's take a look at the connection. What were their at first opinions of you? Queen of Wands. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy here. So they instantly thought that you were really creative. And you may have been sort of bold too. It's like you may have had a really good sense of humor. You liked attention. And you maybe were perhaps kind of opposites of this person, because I feel like they were quieter than you. Or maybe you were but I feel like you were the louder one. We have the Page of Cups. And I just heard it started innocently enough. That's what I just heard. It started innocently enough with this page, which I often liken actually to the Page of Wands, who was somebody really kind of focused and interested and curious, but a little bit afraid. So they started in a little bit of an insecure energy towards you, because I feel like you cast quite a shadow with your presence a little bit. You carry yourself very confidently. And as I said, it's like that makes a big impression. You carried yourself really confidently. And if these two beautiful, they both look like queens, even though the Nine of Pentacles hasn't quite made it to queen, status yet. It's like this little rabbit in the center between these two queens really feels insignificant sometimes. So at times I felt like they felt like a supporting role to this character, to this I don't want to say over the top, but just so much energy around you and so much presence around you that they almost felt like a supporting character to the beautiful Empress on the back of the deck. But I feel like they were willing to. It's like, fair enough. Yes, I will be a supporting character to you, because fair enough, you deserve it. There could be connections to the school realm, as I said, with the Hierophant here, because there's been evolution, and it's like you guys climbed the ranks together. You ascended in certain practical realms together. And the Nine of Swords. And I do feel like you guys are opposites. I feel like they were meek and maybe had a lot of anxiety, and you're at least in the very least feigned confidence well enough that they believed it. We have the Justice reversed. And we have the Six of Swords and the Moon. And I really feel like this person never wanted it to be a friendship. I feel like they never ever wanted it to be a friendship, but they wanted to be there with you. It's like they wanted to be around you. They wanted to just be in your presence. Even though being in your presence, to be honest, filled them with a lot of anxiety. You made them really, really nervous, and they would overthink everything. It's like they would overthink what they'd say. They would worry about putting their foot in their mouth. And they're even saying it's not fair for someone to look so good, or it's not fair for someone to carry themselves with so much confidence, because whatever you presented to them when you first met them, was really amazing and incredible. It's like someone who takes really good care of themselves, or again, presents themselves with so much confidence, somebody who's smart. They just felt like they paled in comparison. It's like, it's not fair that one person gets so many talents, or one person gets, has everything going for them. But I do feel like they were hoping that you would notice their feelings, hoping that this would shift into a new emotional start, that it wouldn't stay in the friendship realm. And you didn't notice, or you didn't reciprocate. And they felt like one of many people who were admiring you at the time too. They felt like there was competition. There was many people admiring it. It's like, I'm just sitting out here on this limb. You can see the little owls. I'm sitting out here on this limb waiting for my chance, or waiting for my opportunity to jump in. Here's the Eight of Wands. To shift gears and to literally take this connection to another planet, away from friendship. Because here's the Two of Pentacles. It's like they juggled how they felt. They made up plans to kind of express themselves to you. But then I feel like they really held back, because I don't think that they executed it. I think they were hoping, they needed help to move things forward, and they never got it. And so they planned on bringing forward change, but they worried too long. They spent too much time ruminating about it and not enough time doing. And so now it's like, it's such an unfair situation, because I never got a chance to express myself. I never got a chance to do anything that I wanted to do before it slipped away, or the opportunity seemed to slip away from the situation. What was their first impression, please? Of pile number 3. There is someone else. And I feel like they felt that there was competition for you. It's like, I'm just waiting in line. If you're, I'm ready, it came out reversed though. Not feeling like they could step into that comfort zone because of all sorts of excuses. I hear their excuses, Spirit says, because there were other people who may have been interested. There may have been other connections as well in place at that time. And it wasn't fair. It's like a truth. It's like we couldn't move it forward. It just doesn't feel fair. It's a truth that hurts. It stings, because I couldn't even express myself. I had to hold back how I felt. I waited. They were forced to wait, or they made themselves wait, and now they're kicking themselves. On the floor it says, I left because you told me to. And the reason, and I feel like they never had the confidence, or they never felt supported enough, or confident enough in your feelings being reciprocated. So they just bowed out gracefully. It's like they feel like they did you a favor. And that sounds so sad. I know it makes me feel sad, but I feel like we were destined, and that's why it feels so unfair. I feel like you were meant for me. And they're having a really hard time shaking that belief system. We have, I'm getting back on my feet, the Hanged Man, but I feel like they recognize the need to surrender to how things are, perhaps, but they're still hung up on you. The Hanged Man is sort of it is about transitions, and it is about release and surrender, which is required sometimes, but it also speaks to stagnation and how their weight game that they were playing did kick them a little bit when they were down, and it continues, but they're continuing in the same realm. They haven't really learned the lesson full circle. They've experienced the pain, and the sadness, but they haven't sort of realized that, oh, I should apply a different force then. If I want to see change now, I should probably maybe apply something new than what I applied in the past. But they haven't, you know, there's no, it's like they feel like positions now could be a problem. So we'll see what they feel currently about this situation. I'm going to use this little deck here. So what are their current impressions, their current feelings, please, for pile number 3? The Empress. The Empress. And we saw the Empress earlier, the Ten of Wands. I don't feel like a lot of time has spanned between, or a lot has changed rather, since their first impression of you. If anything, their burden's just getting heavier and heavier with every inspired thought towards you. Yeah, there's the Chariot. Back of the deck is the Three of Cups. Still in the friend zone, perhaps, here with the Three of Cups. Very different people, though, like from different walks of life, perhaps. The Hanged Man. The Ace of Cups. The Ten of Cups. Back of the deck is the Two of Cups and the Fool. Not much has changed. I don't feel like if you did go to school with this person, if you did grow with them, I don't feel like there's much that's changed at all for them. I do feel like what has changed has been logistics and has been practical things, and there could be other relationships in place. So take that as it resonates to your situation, because I am dealing with collective, the collective consciousness right now. But every thought that they have about you is still burdening them. And the thoughts that they're having are this new emotional start, which they feel like could bring them peace. But now they seem to be hung up by your position and decisions. It's like knowing where they want to go, but not having the strength to wield it, because they still haven't brought clarity in. They still haven't revealed themselves to you, that they don't want it to be in a friend zone. They want more. They want a relationship and see where that goes, but it takes big risks. And if they were overthinking over here with the Nine of Swords, they're still overthinking in the current energy. So their first impression, the overthinking, they've continued that habit into the present energy. And the thoughts of you, this habitual, persistent overthinking is their constant companion too. But I feel like there are other challenges now with this Chariot, because it's about decision. Do I enter into the past or do I move into the future? It can sometimes be a choice between two people as well. So take that as it resonates. But they still envision and dream and fantasize about this new emotional start equating to the Ten of Cups. They still do. And you can see in the Hanged Man, he almost looks like he's shaped like a 4, which is this challenging number of like, what have we built? What are we continuing to build? And it is position or the home that could be holding up this momentum. But their mind is still all lit up about you. And as much as they're saying, I'm getting back on my feet, they're not taking a lot of steps to do that, are they? He looks very relaxed. His arms are crossed behind his back. He's not exactly in the mode to accomplish a lot in that physical stance. So they're claiming that they're moving forward, but I feel like, as Maury Povich says, that would be a lie, potentially here. What are their current thoughts and impressions right this moment? Because you know what? You can't get any better than this. You can't, oh, there's somebody outside. You can't get any better than that Empress. You can't go any higher. She's got a million pillows underneath her to sort of honor what she deserves, the comfort that she deserves. I'm a better person because of you. You've really changed me. But that's, honestly, I feel like giggling at that a little bit, because this Hanged Man is telling me that not much has changed for them. But the impression you've left on them has been very, very long-standing and deep. I know that we're being spiritually guided. They definitely feel like the two of you have some type of destiny. They definitely feel like you guys are still sort of meant to be together. They consider you a twin flame soulmate energy, but it scares them. And ultimately, fear is the thing we're trying to overcome. Fear, and we are all afraid all of the time, but it's about doing things afraid. So that's what they're not very practiced at, is doing things afraid. I'm speaking to you through songs. So there could be no contact, or maybe no emotional sort of contact, but they are trying to communicate to you through other spiritual or emotional realms. I've been hurting without you. You have absolutely no idea. And it says telepathically communicate with me. So this person feels like you guys have a communication, and I feel that could be mutual. You may agree with that. That perhaps is what's drawn you to this reading, is the fact that there's a communication that goes beyond reason here. It says don't focus on who wants me, I want you, because there could be third party here. So take that as it resonates. How do they currently feel? Heart-to-heart conversations are so needed here. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. And that's what they're looking for. They want clarity. They want to know that you feel like they feel. They want to know that it's not all in their head. I don't think that would serve a purpose to closure, but they are kind of stuck. Deception, because someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship and was wearing a false mask in this relationship. And I do feel like it's in separation. For some watching here, the time apart is still on the horizon. And then we have pay attention to red flags. The signs are cautioning you. And I think that there are red flags here, even with the connections themselves, because I think there are a lot of complications. But I think they thought that they were so obvious about their feelings for you in the past, in the beginnings, in their first impression of you. They thought that they were obvious, but they were obviously not as obvious as they needed to be. But they, in their opinion, they're like, it was obvious that I cared. It was obvious with all of the support I offered you that I cared about you. And they do feel a little bit overlooked in that sense. If your person could say one thing to you right this moment with zero filter, what would it be in the bowl? Oh, I missed it. The Hermit, they would say that they're so isolated and lonely because of their own decisions. And they also would love to steer, they would love a do-over. It feels like they want to go back in time and kind of make a new decision to steer that chariot in a different direction. The strength, it's like I didn't have the strength, and I don't know if I have the strength right now. It's like I'm so fearful of it's like they're fearful of expressing themselves and not hearing back what they want to hear. And taming that fear inside of them has proven to be very difficult. And you'll notice in the bowl, it's 3 major arcana in the bowl, which means there's been valuable lessons that have been learned through this connection. We have in the bowl today, the letter P, could be an initial. We have the big honeybee, which is somebody who feels like they were sort of sacrificing their desires, their hopes for other people. They do feel like they acted as a support system to you. And this could also be a reflection of you or this person in your current state right now, kind of toiling away, building a family, perhaps. It's feminine energy here with the honeybee. We have Chewbacca. I think about someone who has a very narrowed, nerdy interest. So this person could have been considered a little bit nerdy, perhaps in the past. We have the World, unfinished business. We have the big sea star or seahorse, I'm sorry, surrendering and moving through periods of pain, going with the flow in order to ignite a transformation here with the butterfly, because they would love to evolve into a new state in this connection. But we have the elephant with his trunk down. And we have the rose of hope. So their hope is waning that shifts or changes can happen. They don't want to give up that hope, but their hope is a little bit waning. But it's like they still have no intentions of letting go of you. It's like there's still endurance. There's determination. And we have a King of Swords here. So somebody who has a lot of truth to wield. They could be an air sign, an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. Oh, and somebody really intelligent too. Somebody like really smart. All right, pile number 3, that is what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comments section, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell, your like button, all of the buttons. It helps me to bring you guys more content. And be sure to drop me your comments so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. So the notification bell system is really important so that I can actually contact you if you're chosen the winner. You can also check me out on Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. And if you head to Etsy and the shop is empty, it just means I have sold out for that day, but I do update the shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.